About to jump into a prediction with Eimantas Stanionis and Radzhab Butaev. Just want to ask, man, what is it with that goofy ass afro wig that he always wearing? I mean, what is that about? Anybody got any insight on that? But anyway, fuck that. Let's jump into this. This weekend on the Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas undercard, we have one of these fights that I think is going to be another barn burner between Radzhab Butaev and Eimantas Stanionis. Let's talk about the prediction I got for this fight. Let's get into Eimantas Stanionis. Let's get into his quick stats. So Stanionis is at 13 wins, no losses, 9 wins by way of knockout. So Stanionis, we're dealing with pretty decent punching power. Last fight was in 2021 against Luis Collazo, in which he retired him. He stopped. It was a ND decision, 4th round. I think it was something with his, like the head clash. I think his head, like they clashed heads. I believe, yeah, they had clashed heads, and they stopped it in the 4th round. But that was the fight that Luis Collazo decided to hang up the gloves. You know, a veteran in the game. Much love to Luis Collazo. Stanionis did good for as long as the fight lasted. Those 4 rounds, he did pretty well. He's from Lithuania. Yeah, he's 27 years old, so he's in his prime. Yeah, 27 years old. It's amazing, though. A lot of those fighters over there, you notice, like, in those countries, sometimes they be in their prime or they be a little older, and then they only have, like, a handful of fights. You know, you compare Jaron Ennis to him. Boots has probably 10, 11 more fights over him, and he's like 4 years younger, so I think there's something with those fighters over there when it comes to why they seem to be starting off late in their careers when it comes to their pro boxing careers. One of my sub friends, he kind of explained that to me, but I forgot what he had said. So you know who you are. If you got any knowledge on that, drop that on this video, because we was talking about that and I forgot what he had told me, the reason behind this. But nonetheless, Stanionis is much more technical. He's a more technical fighter than Butaev is. A little bit more patient at times. He seems more of a more calculated puncher, but he's also a pressure fighter. I don't think he knows how to cut the ring off as well as Butaev, though, but he definitely he'll bring it to you. So let's get into Radzhab Butaev. And same thing with Butaev. He's 28 years old. He's a Russian, and he only has 14 fights. See what I mean? So 14 wins, no losses, 11 wins by way of knockout. So Butaev has they got almost the same amount of fights. So Butaev has a little bit more power, has the power advantage over Stanionis. A little bit more pop out, so to say. Because I was watching Stanionis when he fought Thomas Delorme, and
can I eat anything I get on?
He looked good. I think I may have seen Thomas Delorme maybe stunned a few times in the fight, but it went the whole 12. Went the whole 12 rounds. Not to say that he don't have power, but I would say if Butaev was fighting Thomas Delorme, he probably would have ended up stopping him. Just my assessment, because I was watching. I think Butaev is a little bit more aggressive. a little bit less technical with his aggression though, as than Stanionis is. So let's get into the arm reach. We got Butain. We got Stanionis has a 68-inch reach. He's 5'8". Butaev has a 72-inch arm reach, and he's 5'10" and a half. So nearly 6 foot tall. He has the reach advantage over Stanionis as well. So I think this fight. I mean, I don't think it's really gonna make a difference because I don't think Butaev is gonna really outbox Stanionis like that. It's probably gonna be. You're gonna see this as a close range fight, more like you're gonna see a lot of phone booth work. Butaev has great body. He has great inside work, good body work. Stanionis, he doesn't have bad body work either, but I would say I would give the edge to the body work, man. In an up close fight, I get that to Butaev. This is gonna be one of them fights, dude. This is gonna be one of them bomb burner fights that I'll be talking about. It's gonna be action packed. I mean, you got two guys that they love to come forward. A lot of them don't like taking steps back. They're going to keep pushing at each other. So you're going to see them. They're going to be up on each other, man. Most of the fight, that's what you're going to see. You're going to probably see very minimal. These dudes are almost evenly matched, bro. I think Butaev is 20. Butaev is 28. Their age is almost evenly matched. Their heights is almost the same. Butaev have a few inches longer reach. They both are from Eastern Europe. So this is going to be a dope fight. It's going to be a dope fight. My prediction, though, this is very tough. This is one of those fights that's going to be hard to predict because you're going to see a lot of back and forth action.
Introducing Extremes Almonds from...
Excuse me. It's going to be a lot of back and forth action in this fight. So there's a strong possibility that you might get a stoppage. And I would have to say, if it was going to be a stoppage, I would have to say Butaev might stop Stanionis to the body or something like that. But I think Stanionis is tough. I'm not sure. Let me go see who's the hardest puncher Stanionis ever faced thus far. Delorme, let me see. Delorme. I never really looked at Thomas Delorme as like a heavy puncher. It says here Delorme 16 wins out of 16 KOs from his 25 wins, so he's like a 50% KO ratio. Deloach, Chavez, was that Chavez? Julio Cesar Sanchez? I'm sorry, not him. I'm just going by the last 5 fights that these dudes had. He ain't really fought nobody. He ain't really fought nobody, bro. Luis Collazo, he's not really known as a power puncher either. He was decent. He has decent power, but his power ratio was at 41% as well. But I think Butaev is probably gonna be the hardest puncher that he's faced thus far. Is probably gonna be Butaev. And as far as Butaev goes, the heaviest puncher he probably faced will probably be none of these dudes. They don't really have the best of resumes. When he was fighting Jamal James don't really have power like that. You notice, man, he wasn't even hurt once in that fight. Jamal James was throwing everything at him, and he would just kept coming. So he's a tough dude. I guess the people that really don't have power. So now I think he's matching up with somebody that has just as much power as he does. So this is what I mean. It's gonna be one of those fights. He fought another Russian dude named Alexander Butain. I forgot about that. I seen that a long time ago. I think I seen that fight. I don't remember that fight. I gotta go back and check that out. That was like 3 years ago. Gotta go back and check that out. But he was a good puncher. But all in all, both of these dudes, they haven't really fought anybody like that, man. Their resume is not the best. So they're evenly matched almost on resumes, almost identical when it comes to like their stats and their physicalities and their skills almost. But I would have to say, like I said, the power will have to lean towards Butaev. as a technical fighter, I would have to lean towards Stanionis. Speed, they look like they're almost evenly matched in the speed department. I would probably have to give the edge to Stanionis on the speed just slightly. Footwork, I'll probably have to give the edge to Stanionis, even though he doesn't really have that much footwork either. I have to still to give the edge to Stanionis. So if I had to make a choice in this fight, bro, I would have to say this is probably gonna end up in a draw. It's probably gonna end up in a draw because these dudes are gonna bang it out. You're gonna see a lot of back and forth, man. I think the work rate on both of them is almost identical. That's why I think this is gonna be a draw. And if not secondary, it will be a knockout. I would have to say more than likely Stanionis would probably get knocked out if it was gonna be a knockout. But realistically speaking, I see this fight going to probably a split decision draw. So that is my prediction, man. These dudes are just too evenly matched. A slight edge goes to Stanionis for certain things. Slight edge might go to Butaev for another. If Butaev can clip Stanionis, like I said, I think he could probably hurt him and stop him. Stanionis probably has the better defense out of the two as well. So both of these dudes' chins haven't really been tested by anybody with any real raw decent power like that. We're gonna find out in this fight because they both have, like I said, their power is probably right on par with each other. So we're gonna be in for it tonight, man. Saturday night. Can't wait for this fight. I'm actually very excited. It's funny. I'm actually more excited for this fight to see this than I am to see Ugas in Spain. It's strange, right? But anyway, let me know what you think between the matchup coming up this Saturday night between Eimantas Stanionis and Radzhab Butaev. This is Rebel Life Boxing. Drop a comment, like and subscribe for more raw content. I'll catch y'all later on the next one. And I'm off this.